Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our today's session regarding the new release of Business Central, the 26th version. And today, as usual, our guest, the main presenter of the session, Stefano Demiliani, will share all the details on what's new within this version. I'm really happy to see that we already have more than 100 participants already joined into the session. So that's really great, and it seems that this topic is really important. And of course, we do have quite some changes within this version. But before that, for all of you who haven't worked with us before, with Simplanova, maybe let's just give me a few moments for a quick introduction before the main topic. And due to the fact that most probably there will be some challenges while migrating or moving your clients to the latest BC 26th version, you might face some of the challenges, and maybe Simplanova could help you. So to to begin with, uh, oh, I moved too quickly. Yes. So to begin with, regarding the services of Simpano and who we are and what we do, we started our operations back in 2013 with one mission at that time to help our partners to overcome the challenge of migrating clients from the classic versions to the RTC. And we've put quite a lot of effort in order to be experts in the field. Of course, at that time, the main topic was to migrate the classic clients. Uh, Over time, there were some changes when Microsoft introduced Business Central. So then the challenge was to do the migrations from CAL to AL. And we've noticed in general throughout those 12, 13 years that we've operating already, that it's not enough, just to be the expert within the field for the upgrades and finding all the uh, best practices how to do an upgrade, but also to eliminate manual work as much as possible. So we've invested quite some time in tools which are helping us to do the upgrades, and also these tools are helping partners. So overall, just we've gathered a complex of services that are helping partners. So one of them is the development part, where if you are doing an upgrade or other development tasks internally, Simplanova can help you with developers who can assist you as a team members or provide some consultancy internally. Another one really important part would be the upgrades. Simplanova can provide you the support for the whole upgrade service, including project managing, um, providing the support periods, support guarantees for the projects, and of course guaranteeing that the system would work exactly in the same way as it did in the old version. We are using the best practices that we've gathered throughout the years. And of course, another one really important part would be automated tools for upgrades. Uh, we have created a bunch of them. One of them would be Simplanova's report converter that helps to migrate the classic customers to AL, convert some part of the objects to AL. Another one really important and currently used tool a lot would be Simplanova's AL tool that helps to handle quite a lot of challenges after you would, when you would convert the CAL solution to AL with DXT to AL tool. Simplanova's AL tool, shortly SALT, would help you to manage various issues related to file management, conversion options to enums, etc., etc. So quite some errors Simplenova could help to fix Simplenova AL tool. And last but not least, of course, we are also supporting our ISV partners, and we are helping to migrate their own add-ons also to the latest versions. So later on, they could perform migrations to the end customers that are using their add-on. Another one also important topic that might be really sufficient for you, which is not mentioned here in the slides, is that Simplenova is helping partners to prepare properly for an upgrade projects in two ways. One of them, of course, we are providing all the required documentation and analysis on the project and what would be the best case scenario to manage the project in general, what are the challenges while doing the upgrades. And another one part, we are helping partners to get some incentives to participate in Microsoft programs and prepare all the required details in order to get the funds. So it would be, easier to encourage your clients to do the migration to the latest Business Central cloud versions. And if you would have any questions regarding the programs or other services from Simplenova, just contact sales@simplenova.com and we'll get in touch with you straight away, or you can leave an inquiry on our website, simplenova.com directly. And here are some facts regarding our services. So in total, we've saved more than 100,000 hours in total regarding all the upgrade projects that we've participated. We've accomplished more than almost 600 upgrade projects. There are more than 250 partners who are using our services, and we are operating. We've managed to do upgrades within the span of 39 countries already. So quite some numbers. Regarding the main presenter, Stefano Demiliani. He will soon join and share his slides, but before he'll start, please use Q&A place for all the questions that you'll have, and within the end of the session, we'll have the Q&A, during which we will try to answer all the questions of yours. And also, if you won't be able, to participate within the whole session, also for all of you, within a matter of a couple of days, we will send the recording also, because this is one of the frequently asked questions, whether you'll have the recording. So yes, all participants or all registrants will receive a recording from our side. So right now, I would like to give a word for Stefano, our main presenter, and Stefano, a word for you.
Thanks, Thomas, and thanks everyone for joining. I will share my screen, and we can start with the goal of this webcast. So, as usual, the goal is to present you, give you a quick, a brief and in-depth overview of the Business Central new major release, in this case, the 2025 Wave 1 release. And we will go in depth into different areas, as usual. So we will analyze the administration part, the application part, what's new in AI and Power Platform, and what's new for developers. At the end of the session, we will leave the Q&A in order to avoid breaks during the overview. Let's start with a number. I want to start with that slide just to share with every one of you that Business Central Online now has exceeded the 45,000 online customers, and that's a huge number, especially compared to the latest official number given from Microsoft that is starting from that was in October. Business Central Online is continuously growing, and also is continuously growing the size of the SaaS customers, and this is a great sign for the platform, because it means that Business Central Online now is always much more mature than in the past, and customers are always more interested in that platform. So let's start with the service and administration. With in the service part, with Business Central, this wave release, so 2025 wave 1, Microsoft is we start gradually enforcing the new flexible updates policy. The new flexible update policy is a particular new way of handling Business Central Online updates. And the flexible update is mainly divided into two main phases, what is called the major update cycle and what is called the minor update cycle. In the major update cycles, you have a preview period where you have a major release, preview of the major release available, and you can test the preview of your major release in your sandbox. And then after this preview period, that normally is about 1 month, it will start the update period. And now the update period, starting from this wave release, is much bigger, because now you have an update period of 5 months with a fixed end date. And in this update period, you can decide if you want to migrate to the new release or not, and you can also skip releases. Then after that update period, you have a grace period. The grace period is your last update period possible, where Microsoft will start to apply weekly updates to your tenant. If this grace period ends without updating the tenant, you will be moved into what is called the enforced update period, where all the incompatible apps are uninstalled and the update of the tenant is forced. During the minor update, so every month, as usual, a minor update ships every month, as in the past. But now you can opt out for automatic scheduling of updates, and you can select the target version for the update. So you can also skip updates during the months. You are not forced to update on every month. So just to summarize that in a chart, we are where with Business Central 26, for example, you have a preview period. You had the preview period in March, where you have tested the public preview. You can test that in Sandbox. Now, starting from the 1st of April, starts a period where you can update your tenant. And you can update your tenant just now to version 26, or you can skip that update for 5 months. And this 5 months ends on August. In August, end of August, starts what is called the grace period. The grace period is the period where Microsoft will start to force your update, or try to update your tenant. If the tenant is not available to update here, and you don't react on that, starting from October, the tenant will be forced updated. And then, again, for the next releases, the same cycle applies. So you have a much more bigger update window than in the past. And during this update window of 5 months, you have the possibility to directly in the admin center. This is not available now, but will be available in the next weeks or months. You can see the current release version, the latest release version that you have available today for updates, and you can select the update that you want to go. And when selecting that update, you can see a list of available versions, and you can directly plan to the update, the target version that you want to update for. So in these updates, you can select for available version, what is marked as available in the combo, or planned. Planned means you can schedule an update to a target version that will come in later, according to the update window. So this is the main goal of the new flexible updates. You can skip updates, and you are not forced to update the tenant on every month, but you can directly select a target version and, for example, move to updates of 26.0 to 26.5 in a single step without updating the tenant every month. This will permit you to have a much more freedom on updating your apps or updating your customers. According to that, I also want to mention that Business Central 26 is what is considered a step release. So in Business Central 26, Microsoft is the first release where Microsoft is deciding to remove physically all the objects, Microsoft object that was marked as obsolete state removed from the past releases. So on every 5 major releases, Microsoft will start this deletion, physical deletion of fields or tables that was an obsolete state removed, marked as obsolete state removed. This means that now you have Microsoft is targeting all the objects with a new parameter called screen schema. It's a preprocessor symbol that will permit you to identify the obsolete schema elements and permits you to Microsoft to remove. All the objects marked with screen schema 24 will be removed in version 26. And all the objects that are now marked with screen schema 25 will be removed in version 30. So every 5. So what does this mean? This means that you have a breaking change from the schema of Business Central, for example, 24 to Business Central 25, because fields that are marked as obsolete, say removed, that was in the past physically present in the database, now are removed. And this means that also the cloud migration path will change. So in that, according to that change, you are forced to move to from version 24. If you are now in version 24 or past releases, you cannot directly cloud migrate to Business Central 26, but you need to go into an intermediate step, and this intermediate step is version 25. This means that if you have customer today in Business Central 24, for example, on-prem customers, and you want to move that on-prem customer to Business Central Online, it's probably, if you want to do that in one go, it's probably better that you do that until the online tenant is in version 25, because you can directly migrate your customer to cloud migration to version 25 and then upgrade the tenant online to 26. You cannot directly cloud migrate a customer or an on-premise customer from 24 to 26. But you need to upgrade first to 25, the on-premise database. Remember also that if you need data from removed tables, so if you have data in some tables that Microsoft will remove with version 26 physically removed, it's better to create a point-in-time backup of your online tenant before upgrading in order to have your data. And now, two news about the cloud migration is that now you can use the data transfer object to speed up data migration. If a company is this is available only if the company is marked as in the cloud migration context. So if you are a cloud migration in progress, then you can use data transfer not only in upgrade code units, but also in your custom code unit to transfer data. Not available if the company is not in the cloud migration context. And the Compi companies was quite a bit refactored, and now Compi company is 5 times faster than in the past. So it's absolutely much more faster and great to do that cloud migration today. Another new feature available is related to managing per tenant extensions in Admin Center. As you can see from these slides, when you go into an environment in Business Center 26, in the apps of the environments, the combo now will show not only the global extensions, but also is able to show you the per tenant extensions and the dev extensions that are installed into that tenant. And if you select, for example, one of the objects in the combo, you can see that you have some available actions, and you can upgrade an apps or uninstall an app directly from the admin center. So also for per tenant extension, you can directly from admin center manage that without going into the extension management page, so accessing that tenant. If you select to uninstall an app, the uninstall an app also selects you all the dependencies that this app have, and directly from admin center you can uninstall an app, including the dependencies, and you can also specify to delete the application data or not. So removing data or not. Another feature that will be available, not immediately, but will be available probably, plans are for June, is related to view is the apps compatibility directly in admin center. So directly in admin center is if you have published, for example, a per tenant extension in a customer tenants, you can select that per tenant extension, and then you can see if this per tenant extension is compatible or not with the next updates that will happen to that tenant. In this way, you can prevent for scheduling updates to a version that where your apps are not compatible with. So it's directly in the admin center. You have the report that Microsoft actually is sending via email. Now you can directly discover it starting from the admin center. In Business Center 26, Business Center 26 is, I always love to say that Business Center 26 is the second stepstone release in terms of performances. The first milestone for me is Business Center 23, because Business Center 23 introduces a lot of changes in the platform related to improving performances, and it's a milestone today. You should never have customers with Business Central versions older than Business Central 23. But Business Central 26 is a new stepstone release in terms of performances for many reasons. One of that reason is this new feature. So the calculation of only visible flow fields on pages. This was something that we announced in our session last year in Directions, when we talk about large customer and performances. Now this is available. So only visible flow fields on pages are now calculated. So this means that you have a feature in the feature management page that it's automatically enabled, and I never suggest you to disable this feature. That permits you to have the platform calculating only the flow fields that are visible on that page. So if you have a flow fields not visible in the page, this is not automatically calculated, and this improves a lot in terms of performances. So it's a great feature that must be always be available, and this will be automatically enabled starting from next wave. But also in these releases you can enable, and I suggest to do that. Another new feature related to the administration parts is a new addition in the database missing indexes page. In Business Central, I think you know that there's a page called database missing indexes that permits you to discover if you have missing indexes on pages. This works on the Azure SQL level and permits you to, Azure SQL is able to analyze the type of query that you are performing in your platform and suggest you index that you can add to your objects in order to improve performances. The missing indexes page in the past was missing of some informations that we think are extremely important and that we suggest to the team. Now these informations are available, so now you can see how much the index, how often an index is used, and how much it will improve the performances of the platform. So you can see the number of SIGs, the number of scans, also the average impact, and the estimated benefits. The estimated benefits is a parameter that Azure SQL is calculating according to the number of queries that the user are performing in the platform, and it's bigger if the benefits is is big. So it's an indicator of the benefits that if you add this index, the performance of your objects will be improved and your code will be improved. Another important features related to the platform is the SOAP UI pages deprecation. So you need to remember that if you are still using Microsoft Pages exposed as Microsoft UI pages exposed as SOAP web services from the web service page, this is automatically blocked in Business Center 26. The block is a soft block. So this means that now in feature management, you have a feature called disable software services on Microsoft UI pages. And the default is enabled. So automatically all your UI Microsoft page exposed and web services are disabled. But you can turn it again on by going to feature management and disable this feature. But this feature will be enforced in next wave. So your pages. So this is something that you should remember, and also remember that this is related to Microsoft UI pages. So if you have custom pages exposed as web services, SOAP web services, this will continue work for now. But just remember that SOAP is deprecated in Business Central, so in later releases it will be probably also removed also for custom pages. But at the moment, custom pages will continue working. Let's move to the application. So in the service tier, there are a lot of new features, mainly related to upgrades and performances. There are also a lot of new features about the application, so the everyday usage of the applications, and these are in different aspects. The first, what I want to mention is that something that many partners asked in the past, so the possibility to specify UI languages for a specific environment. So not, I mean, in one environment, and I don't want to be able to select every language, but I want to specify that for this environment only, for example, English and I don't know, Italian are available. Now you have a new page called Allow Languages, that you can select, and in that page you can insert all the available languages for this environment. The rule is that if this page is empty, all the available languages are selectable from that environment. But if you specify a language, for example, English, in this environment you can only select English and no other. You can only select the environment that are the languages that are in this allowed languages table. Also, the web client has received optimizations, many optimization in terms of rendering, especially on large screens and so on. And one of the features that I want to mention in this regarding to this topic is the possibility to resize factbox. So now you should go open the web client, and if you have a page with factbox on the side, you have now a new slider here that you can drag and drop, and this permits you to resize the factbox. So, for example, I can move from this, resize the sector, and all the lateral factbox are expanded. And this permits you to drag and drop, and enlarge or restrict the lateral factbox of the page in order to have much more a greater reading experience on your page. Another important feature is related to preview attachments in the web client. This is a nice feature because it permits you to directly, when you have an attachment attached to a document, instead of downloading that document and then open, you can directly click the view button, and the view button will open the attachment directly in the browser without downloading. And this will work with every attach, so every attach that your user is uploading. And it's also controllable in code. So in code, you have a new method called view from stream, file.view from stream, that will permit you to obtain the stream of the attachments and display it in the browser. So it's very nice for usability, because we permit you directly click on the attachment and see the preview without downloading the document. Another feature related to the application part is in the documents itself. If you go into the purchase and payable setup, now you have a new parameter called check document total amounts. And if this is true, this permits you to specify if you want that your document amount, the document amount including VAT field in the purchase documents must be compared to the sum of the VAT amount fields in the purchase lines. And if this is not the same, an error preventing the posting is thrown to the user. So just to show that you have in the document, in the purchase invoice, for example, you have these two parameters, document amount including VAT and document amount VAT, that you need to fill when you post an invoice. And if you have this flag set to true, when you post, you have an error saying the document amount is not equal to the total of sales lines, of purchase lines in this case. And something is wrong, because here I have 0 and here I have the total amount is this. Instead, if you fill the correct values when you post the invoice, so the correct amount including VAT and the correct VAT amount, the posting is correctly executed. So it's a new flag available in the purchase and payable setup. Another addition to the platform, to the application part, is related to service documents. Service documents, if you remember, also in the latest release, some features was added in the release, and now also in this release, the document layout page now permits you to, for a customer, contains new available layouts that permits to specify service quotes, service order, service invoice, and service credit memos. So you can specify custom layouts also for this type of documents. Other important features was added in the manufacturing area. The manufacturing header, in the manufacturing header, an interesting feature added in this wave release is the support for document attachments in all the manufacturing related pages. So this means production orders, production bombs, routing, production orders on every state of the production order, because the pages are different according to the state, and also for production order lines. So in production orders, you have now so in all these entities, you now have an attachment action that will permit you to attach documents. And now there's also, when you attach a document to a production orders, there's also an interesting flag called flow to production, this flag, that permits you to control how the documents will flow according to the productions. So if you have a document attached to items or production bonds or something like that, how this will flow to all the production's manufacturing steps. So if you have a document attached to an item, for example, or a production bond, and you have this flag to true, this will flow also to production order lines and so on. And this is a nice addition. Another interesting feature is related to labels. Labels are added to production orders, and in production orders, now you have a new print label action in released and finished production orders. If you go into print, you have a print label, and the print label actions will open a report with a request page that will ask you to what type of information do you want in that label. And for example, here I have selected the lot number, and this shows you a label for this production order and this lot number with the barcode and the QR code available. And this is fully customizable. So you can go into the report selection production order page, new page added, and in this page you can select the production output item label, and here you have the available layout, and you can also add your custom labels and so on. So this is a nice addition also for if you need to print labels related to production orders. Another important addition to production order is the possibility to block items or variants in production output. So in this release, in the item card or in the item variant card, you have now a new flag called production blocked, and this production blocked flag can be selected to output, and production blocked specify if an item or an item variant can process or not in the production documents. So this means all the production orders and so on. This except requisition worksheet or planning worksheet and all the journals. This flag has no impact. But if you have this flag with the production blocked output, this item or this item variant is not available in when you create a production order. In all statuses, you cannot select that item or that item variant. In production order lines, you cannot select that item, and you cannot post output of that item or item variant if it's production blocked. So you can post output in output journal or production journal with a blocked item. You can also, a new feature also available in production order is the possibility to reopen a finished production order. So if you have a production order marked as finished, you can now reopen it in order to make adjustments, in order to fix the inventory or something like that related to the production orders. And if you can, so now you have a new action called reopen that permits you to reopen a production order. And if you reopen a finished production order, the finished production order is converted into a released production order. So it's moved from finished to released, a step back. And then you can fix what you want in that production order before finishing it again. Just remember that there's a limit on that features, and the limit is that you can reopen finished production orders only one time. Because a finished production order, when is reopened is marked as reopened, and this flag is not moved. So if you try to redo that, so finish production order, I reopen it and it's moved to release. I then refinish that and it's then again moved to finish, and then I retry to open the finish again. You have an error saying that this production order has already been reopened before. So you cannot do that for multiple times. But it's a great feature if you want to fix something in a finished production order. Another improvement in that area is related to cost adjustments. Cost adjustments has received a lot of refactoring and improvements, mainly to improve performances and improve the usability of the cost adjustment tool. One of the main work on that feature is related to eliminate bottlenecks, so improve performances. The code was rewritten and revisited according also to telemetry, and now it's faster. You have now some available tools and features for visualizing the progress of the adjustments. And also you can launch adjustment item by item. So select the item that you want to adjust the cost, or you can also select the production order where you want to adjust costs. So you have the possibility to select directly the granular level of records to adjust cost in order to improve the performances. And also the cost adjustment tool now shows you notifications directly in the tool related to issues or incorrect settings, or when you have a lot of entries, in order to discover if you have problems on adjusting costs. And this is much more reliable tool compared to the tool that you have in the previous releases. Another important and nice addition is related to service shipments. In the previous release, you can combine, say, shipments into one in order to do a shipment for a customer. And now you can use also the combined service shipment in order to group not invoice service shipments into one invoice. This will work with this according to a new flag that is available in the customer card. So in the customer card now you have a new, in the shipping tab, you have a new flag called combined service shipment. And if this is true, when you create a service order, the combined shipments is reported directly from the customer to the service order. And then when you create a shipments, you have the possibility to launch the new report called combined service shipments that permits you to specify a type of filters and grouping values that permits you to group the shipments and the invoice, and then create a service shipments for multiple invoices. As said before, I said before that Business Center 26 is, in my opinion, the second stepstone release in terms of performances. And the first reason is the flow fields only calculate if available on the page. The second great features, must-have features, in my opinion, is these three features. So they enable multiple users to post. And these are features that are disabled by default today, but I suggest you to absolutely enable on every Business Center 26 environment you have. They will be enabled by default in a later release, 1 year from today. The plans are that. But in my opinion, you should enable that. Because this permits you to have a posting routine on item ledger entries, on job ledger entry, on resource ledger entries, on value entries, that is much more performant and is less locking than in the past. And the reason for that is that Microsoft is changing. If someone was in Directions EMEA in our session related to big customers, I explained that one of the tricks that we have used with large customers in the past was to change many of the posting custom posting routine that we have in order to use number sequence instead of number series. And Microsoft has done the same. So in this, if you enable these new features in the posting today is doing something like this. So in today business, the posting is locking the table where you want it to post. So for example, the item ledger entry. It's placed a semaphore on that, and it retrieves the next entry number. And then the routine that posts increment the number and then creates the data. This lock table and the semaphore on lock, cause lock is on the transactions. And if you have if you have a batch that is posting, a user that is posting item ledger entry, and another user is posting a item ledger entry in the same time, the second user is locked and then is waiting. So is slow, the process is slow, and so on. Microsoft has refactored that, and now in Business Center 26 you have no init, so no locking, There's no lock table on this part, but simply the posting is retrieving the next entry number from number sequence. Number sequence are handling metadata and are no locking. So there's no lock in order to retrieve the next entry number. And this is absolutely much faster. And you can try open 2 sessions, Business Central Online 2 sessions, and post item ledger entries from journal, for example. You will see that if you do that in Business Central 25 or previous releases, the second batch is waiting. You have a delay. If you do that in Business Central 26 with this feature available, enabled, all the 2 batches will post in parallel. And this will help you on increasing the performances. So it's these 3 features for me are mandatory features that you should enable on every 26 environment. There are also a lot of improvement in Shopify. I will quickly describe. Shopify connector has received a lot of updates. Now it permits you to import all company locations from Shopify, including the payment terms, the tax ID, and so on. And when you export data to Shopify, these details are also included in the sync. So you can, when you specify the company synchronization, now you can specify different type of mapping in order to sync the companies. Another important feature added to Shopify is that sometimes you can have businesses that sell products through different channels, online store, physical store, and so on. And when you publish a product from Business Center to Shopify, now you can also specify which sales channels must be activated for that product. So I can specify that these products can only be sellable in online store and this instead of physical store or something like that. Also, another lot of requested features available that was available in Shopify is related to meta fields. Shopify has the concept of meta fields, and meta fields are in Shopify are a way to add custom attributes to an entity, and these are widely used in Shopify. Many Shopify implementers use meta fields in order to enrich data of informations. And Business Central until today is not supporting meta fields. Now from Business Central 26, you can enable also the import and export of data stored in Shopify meta fields into Business Central. So you have a new features that permits to Shopify product and variant also with meta fields. And this will import. If Shopify is handling meta fields, these meta fields are imported into Business Central. And also you have a Shopify meta fields page where you can change that values and then re-import again to Shopify. So it's a bidirectional way to handle these attributes. Also now in a nice addition is related to the way of the Shopify connectors keeps the way to exporting data to Shopify, because now if there's a problem, you have an error, but in with Business Central 26, when you export a record to Shopify, the Shopify connector is able to skip records that are rejected from Shopify and giving you a reason of the rejection of the record. So you have a new page called Shopify Skipped Records that will show you all the records that during the sync, the export of data to Shopify are not exported, and with the reason of the cause of the problem. And then you can fix the problem and relaunch again the export for the records that are in error. So it's a nice addition in order to make the Shopify connector more reliable. Let's move to the reporting and data analysis part. Here, Business Center in that area will add quite a lot of features, new Excel layouts in different areas, production, sales, and so on. there are lots of, let's say, layout that are nice to try and test, because they permit you to create rich reports. It has also a Power BI app that was launched in the last wave, but also in this release it was improved. But here I want to mention in my opinion, the most interesting addition on that area, that is the analysis mode. And the analysis mode now was improved in order to support adding fields from related tables. So if I have an analysis mode, for example, linked to the customer table, I go and open the customer list, I move the customer list to analysis mode, and then I can also add columns, not only from the customer table, but also I can select all the table that has a relation to the main table. So, for example, here you can see that I have different tables that are related to customers, and I can, for example, retrieve information from contacts and so on. This will be available starting from June, so you will not able to see that in Business Center 26, but starting from June, this will be available on every tenant. And this is nice because it enrich the analysis mode a lot. A possibility to import also data not only from a single table, but from related tables. AI in Copilot is an area that has received a lot of new improvements also in this release. I want to mention the main additions to this release. First of all, the autofill fields with Copilot. Now Copilot is able to, when you need to create a record or an entity in Business Central, is able to help you on filling values on a field in that record. And this feature is available in card and document pages, but also your custom pages. And important is that suggestion for field auto-completion are related to your data, are grounded to your company data, so not coming from external sources, but Copilot is able to analyze what you have in your data and suggest how to fill a data according to the data that you have. Just to give you an example, if I am in a customer card here, for example, and I go into a field, you can see that in the field appears the Copilot logos, the Sparkle logo. And here you can, if you click on that logo, Copilot is able to give you a suggestion on how to fill that. And the reason, so for example, here is on credit limit is suggesting to impose credit limit of 6,000, because the reason is that it's the most frequently used value for this type in your company. And I can keep or I can skip. And this applies to every field. And you can also select, create a suggestion, ask for suggestion for many fields. And then Copilot is suggesting, and then you can keep or discard all or only the selected and so on. So it's a nice way in order to have an help on filling data if you don't know how to fill the data. At the moment, this autofill with Copilot, it works only on information grounded to your company data, but later in this way, Copilot is also automatically able to search the web for informations, like, for example, customer information, address, and so on. So you can also, you will be also able, if you want, to search for information coming from the network. Obviously, this feature can be enabled or not. So in the Copilot and Agile capabilities, there's a new feature called autofill that you can enable or disable if you want to enable autofill or Copilot or not. It's also related to enable feature of Copilot. There was also a quite hidden but important addition in this release is that you can now control who can access the Copilot chat and other Copilot features. In Business Central 26, a new role called Copilot Sys Features system role is added, and this role permission set is containing a set of permissions that permits you to granularly specify what type of features you want in Copilots. For example, allow Copilot chat, allow Copilot autofill, allow Copilot summary, and so on. And with this role, assigning this role to the user, you can, for example, specify what users are authorized to access the Copilot chat and what users cannot access that, or what user can use autofill and the other user no. So it's a more granular way instead of disabling the features for all, but you can control who can use that feature, and that's an important addition. Not available now, but will be available in plans are for June, is also a new addition to the Copilot chat. The Copilot chat will be able to also answer questions related to your installed apps. Apps information about new pages, fields, or business process that you have in your custom app, not only in Microsoft apps. Copilot chat, to do that, needs to retrieve informations, and information will be retrieved starting from what you have in your app.json file. So it's important to have in the app.json file references to documentations or a website, something that is able, the Copilot chat is able to retrieve informations. And the recommendation of that is that please have site URLs in the app.json much cleaner as possible, so HTML, Markdown, or something like that, in order to be able for Copilot to index and crawl that information. If you have remind to a site written in, I don't know, your URL reminds to a video or reminds to an old site in Flash or something like that, so technologies that are not so suitable for an LLM, informations are not retrieved. So it's important to have that in order to use this feature in the future. Also related with Copilot, there's available a new summarize feature. The summarize feature is a nice feature that permits you to have in your entity, for example, a customer, a new summary fact box that you can ask informations directly, and these summaries are tailored to your role. Just to very quickly show that, because I think it's much more clear. Let me open, I will do that here. If I open a customer, I can go into the summary page here, and I can click on Copilot, and Copilot is able to do an analysis of this entity. Here I'm on a customer, but you can do that on an item, or I don't know, and it's able to show you a quick information related to this customer. So you say me that the balance due from the customer is this, outstanding invoice are this, total sales fiscal year. I can click on show more, and show more opens the Copilot chat. And starting from the Copilot chat, I can ask more information about that the customer. And this will works on every entity you have. So directly, I can also go into the item, for example, and I can ask information related to items. Items, for example, can be more maybe interesting because I want, for example, the situation of that item in general, and directly asking to Copilot, it can do an analysis of what this item is doing in my business central environment, And here I can see that I have a current inventory level of 5 units. 5 units are on sales order, 15 are on purchase order, with the unit price like this, the profit percent like this, and so on, so on, so on. So it's giving you a set of nice information. This summary, someone asked me some weeks ago about that. This summary is not available in the public preview. So if you have the public review, will not be available. To have the summary, you need to have the final Business Central 26 release. So please upgrade your tenant to 26. As you can see here, the preview, the preview is marked with this build number, while the final version is marked with this build number, so a bigger build number. That's the difference. So you need to have the final Business Central 26 version in order to use the summary. Otherwise, the summary is not available. And another addition in Copilot, in the Copilot area, is the sales order agent. The sales order agent is available in some countries, not only US and UK, like I wrote in when I done these slides, but some more. Not in every country at the moment. The sales order agent is a first agent that works in Business Central. The agent is something like a bit different compared to Copilot, because Copilot is an LLM under the hood where I can ask information, and according to that information, it can give me answer. The agent is instead something different. The agent is someone, an AI entity that works for me and can take action and decisions for me. So the first of that is the sales order agent. You can activate that. If you activate that, the sales order agent will ask you for a mailbox account, and the sales order agent is able to monitor incoming emails to a particular sales account. It monitors email for related to sales inquiries or request to have information about items, something like that. And it's able to analyze the content of the email, provide information to the end users, create quotes automatically according to the request that a user is asking via email, and directly answer to the user. So it can do a work for you or convert a quote to an order. It can directly work for you. So you can specify an email. You can specify the type of email that you want, for example, Microsoft 365. And you can set other type of configuration, like, for example, how the agent can help with inquiries, quotes, and orders. It can give information about to all the items that you have, or only to some items, and you can decide what you want to do. Then the agent can create sales documents like quotes or not. The agent can transform a quote to an order autonomously or not. Do you want to review orders when created or not? These are all settings that you can specify, and then the agent can work for you. So here I have, if I remember, not here, but in another environment that I previously closed, I have just to provide you a very, very quick example. Sorry, 1 second. Here I have an agent that is working, and my agent is received an email coming from a user, monitor to that the user is asking for a quotation for 2 items, these items, but the user can also write 2 bicycles, 2, I don't know, and the agent is able to retrieve the item, what is. And then the agent is able to move 2 steps. So in this case, according to that request, my agent autonomously has created the contact and then has created the quote with 2 items, with 2 items of this, the item that I've asked to have. And then it was able to provide also, if I go to the next step, an email to the requester. This is automatically generated by the agent. So saying, dear blah, 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 thank you for your request. Please find and attach a sales quote for the requested items. So it works for me. I receive from an email address a mail asking for a quotation about 2 items. The agent is able to retrieve the items, create a quote, create a contact, create a quote, send an email to the customer with an email auto-generated and attaching to that email the quote. If the user is responding, the agent is able also to interact with the user, giving much more information. Or if the user is responds, okay, I accept the quote, the agent can intercept that email and creates a sales order. So that's the process. This is the first autonomous agent that is available in Business Central. Other agents are in the plan and will come in the near future. Related to agents, I want to mention that agents will not be free forever, but generally speaking, some Copilot and agent capabilities, like for example the sales order is the first, will incur charges to use that. And charges means that these agents are paid by messages, interactions that you need with the agents. And to do that, to use these agents and pay for that, you need to use what are called in the Microsoft world are the Microsoft Copilot Studio messages. So Microsoft Copilot Studio has a policy to pay for agents for messages. Messages are interaction to an agent, input and output. And this message has a cost per messages. To use agents, you need to you link your Business Central environment to a Power Platform environment. And in the Power Platform environment, you need to acquire packages, so the Copilot Studio packages. So you have to bill for a set of messages. This set of messages can be consumption-based or prepaid, so a pay of X messages. So you need to go into the environment, center, and link in the linked platform environment. Here you need to click and set up a connection to your Power Platform environment where you have the Copilot billing active. Once the linked, the Business Central environment can automatically consume your Microsoft Copilot Studio messages if you have a prepaid plan, or otherwise you can use the billing policy if you have a pay-as-you-go. So pay-as-you-go means billing via Azure subscription, but this isn't mandatory when the agents will be charges. Otherwise, agents will not work. Last section is related to development. Related to development, there are different features that I want to mention. The first feature is that Microsoft creates for their purposes times ago, but now that you can use also in your custom extension, is related to moving table and fields across extensions. This means that now you can split extensions and move the ownership of table and fields and data as part of the upgrade. To explain that, I think that I can start from this. Sorry, okay, I can start from this. Imagine that you have a big extension like this, and now you want in this extension you have two tables, table sales, table inventory, and now you decide to refactor your extension and move these to different to other extensions. So from a monolith extension to two separate extensions. To do that, I want to move that data from this table to another table here, and data from this table to another table here. Microsoft has added a new feature to only supported if your environment and your apps are targeting Business Central 26 or later. And at the moment, per tenant extension are not supported. But Microsoft has added a feature that permits you to, during an upgrade, automatically move data from this table to these tables without writing upgrade logics. And the move can be moved down, so from a monolith to different apps, or also move up. Move up means I have two apps, and I want to move tables from these two apps into a monolith app. Only requirement is that you need to have dependencies between these apps, and obviously you need to have the tables. To do that, you need to, first of all, declare the table as with a new obsolete state that must be or pending moved or moved. Pending move means that the table will be moved in another extension, or moved means that it's moved. The propagate dependency properties, if the table that is moved to one of its dependencies can see the dependencies, the move is not a breaking change, and you can do that in a simple step during the upgrade. Otherwise, you need to handle, if you have a breaking change, you need to handle that's the state, so from pending moved to moved. And if the table is marked as moved, it's not accessible anymore. I think this will be clear with an example. So if imagine that here I need to move data from a monolith extension, and I need to move the sales table that I have in my monolith extension to a new sales table that I have in another extension. I can directly now mark the source extension as source table as obsolete state moved or pending moved. It depends on what you want to do. And then use the new move to parameter with the ID of the extension where I want to move the field, the data. And in the target, so the destination, I need to mark this as moved from with the app ID of the source app. During the upgrade, all these fields will be moved to these fields. All the values automatically without upgrade logic. And also this also works at the field level. So if I only want to move a field, for example, from this table to this table extension, because now first I have a table with a field. Now I want to move the value of this into a new description field added to the sales new sales table. I can directly add at the field level the source and mark it as obsolete state moved, and move to the target. And in the target, I can move from the source. What happens is that to make that is working, I need also to add the dependencies. So before the move, my monolith extension has only ID, name, publisher, and version. After the move, I need to execute the move, I need to add two dependencies in my monolith extension that are the two extensions where I want to add the fields on. So I want to move from this to these two. And I can also set propagate dependencies through in order to allow the dependent apps to access the moved table. That's the logic. So it's a logic that Microsoft is using is in their internal apps when splitting the monolithic base app into multiple apps. But that you can, starting from Business Center 26, you can use also in your extension if you have such cases. So if you have cases where you want to move monolithic extension to different apps. Another addition in related to development is that now in your app JSON file, you can also specify if you have, for example, source control enabled, you can also specify two properties, source and build. And these two properties permit you to specify a repository where your app is contained and the commit ID. And this can be visible directly in the app metadata, so in the extension management page, in order to directly discover what was the pipeline that is installed this app, where is the repository of the code of this app, and so on. In this release, related to development, is you can view embedded Power BI reports or pages in a new user interface. This user interface uses a new page type called user control host. And the user control host is a new type of page that permits you render a single user control in the client. So it permits you to render a layout optimized to maximize the space for that web client. And using this is very easy. Simple, create a page where page type is user control host. If page type is user control host, you are forced to have this type of layout. So an area, a content area, and instead inside the content area must only be visible a user control with your logic and so on. You cannot add other fields and so on. So you can see that here I created my page, and in the layout Visual Studio Code is saying that the page with subtype set to user control host must specify only one control, and this control must be a user control. This is available. You can use for Power BI, but also for other user controls. GitHub symbols now if you have Visual Studio Code, now there's a features that permits you to index or search for objects directly using Ctrl+T. So open symbol by name, where you can directly search for a symbol, and then it search for that symbol according to the symbol that you have in the IL packages folder. And this is nice for retrieving informations quickly, or for indexing in passing information to copilots. Another additions added to the code, very useful, especially in my opinion, if you are using AI features like prompts or something like that. Quite often, writing a prompt into an extension requires writing strings with multiple lines. And now you can directly create write a string in IL that spans multiple lines by prefixing the string with this symbol. And you can write a multiple line string. This is useful for writing prompts, for example. Other nice small addition, but just good to know. Now you can easily convert the value of simple types to text by using a new toText method. So, for example, if I want to convert in text the date, I can use the field date and use the toText method. Or this will work with integer or many other different types of objects. So toText transform the value of the object to a string. Now another interesting addition is that you can modify the cart page ID property of a list per page via a page extension. Previously, it was not possible. So if you try to do that, if here I try to extend, I'm on Business Central 25, I try to extend the customer list and I want to change the cart page ID, and this is not possible. It gives you say that the property page ID cannot be customized. In Business Central 26, now you can do that. So you can extend the customer list and change the cart page ID to your new custom page ID, for example. Another addition is the support for set up total fields on record ref. Previously, this was not possible. Now you can also support set up total fields on record ref. And this is useful if you want to automatically calculate fields. Business Central now adds a new keyword in IL language useful for loops. And this new keyword is called continue. The new continue keyword skips the current loop iteration and goes automatically to the next. So here I provide a very stupid example, like I looping through customer, and then if the customer is 20,000, then I want to go to the next. So I can write something like this: if customer is equals 20,000, then continue. Continue skips these two lines and goes to the next iteration. There are a large set of new objects, new methods related to JSON objects, and these are extremely useful for manipulating JSON. Permits you to convert a token from the JSON object to a particular type, and this permits you to avoid create a reading from JSON object, JSON token, then from the JSON token the value. So in a single operation, you can retrieve a Boolean, a byte, a char, integer, and so on from JSON object or from JSON array. These are very useful when working with APIs, JSON, and so on. Another addition is a small addition, but nice to know, is that you can retrieve from code the call stack at any point in time, simply calling the session information.callstack method. And this gives you the entire call stack, not only when you have an error, but directly in code. So if you need to know the call stack during the execution, these methods can help. A new overload for in string was added in IL language, and this new overload permits you to increase a string by a particular, not only by one, but a particular values. So I can increment by 2 or 3 in a single step. Very, very small addition, but nice. An interesting addition to JSON object, again, is also the support to YAML. YAML and JSON interoperability is something that often is required. For example, if you want to read from code, a code in YAML, for example, a pipeline code or something like that, or an object definition in YAML, and you want to convert in JSON because you need to pass that code to APIs. This method permits you to read the YAML and convert to a JSON, or vice versa, read from YAML and convert to JSON, or read to JSON and convert through YAML, and so on. Here, some very stupid example that I've provided. I can open a JSON file, for example, and convert it to YAML with the simple objects, write to YAML, JSON object dot write to YAML, and this creates a YAML from my JSON. YAML syntax out of scope to explain, but I think that is clear if you have used, for example, tools like Azure DevOps or GitHub. Here is the opposite. Here I have a pipeline for Azure DevOps, and the pipeline for Azure DevOps is in YAML. I want to read in from Business Central and a JSON in order to manipulate. I can upload a YAML file I can use JSObject.read from YAML, and this is converting the YAML to JSON, and then I can convert to the JSON. And here I have a JSON representation of my YAML file. This is useful in many scenarios, AI also. Another addition is related to the opening a page in a particular state. In Business Central 25, Microsoft added a new parameter in the URL of the web client called the layout that permits you to specify a keyword to render automatically a page in a particular layout. So, for example, passive analysis means that the open page is open in the analysis mode. Now you can also use the getURL method, like in this case, to open a particular page in code with a particular format. So the getURL, you pass the client type, the company name, the page to open, customer list in this case, and the new parameter, that is the format. And in this case, the page is open in this format. If you pass analysis, it's placed in the analysis mode, and so on, automatically. This is sometimes nice. User control host, I previously talked about that. It's a new page for rendering a user control. As said before, you can, if you create a page with type user control host, only a user control can be placed in that page. No other, but it's useful if you want to display web pages or add-ins, because it creates all the surface in a particular way in order to better use that. Last feature that I want to mention, I will directly show you in code because I think it's much more explainable. At the moment in Business Central 26, if you go into the extension management page here, you can see that now I have a new tab called Develop in VS Code. And these new tabs permit you to do some actions. First of all, I can create automatically a launch configuration connected to this environment. So I don't know how to create a launch configuration for my VS Code project, but I'm sure that I want to work with this environment. I can generate a launch configuration, open Visual Studio Code, and Visual Studio Code will open by showing a project. Visual Studio Code here, create a new project. It's opening with automatically with the launch JSON connected to my environment. Let me don't do the authentication. As you can see, I have a launch JSON connected to my environment automatically, and I have a generated project. The second option that you can do here is also, let me move again the browser, is also I close this, is also to not only generate the JSON, but also select some files. I need to create a project on this environment, and I need the dependencies from a set of these apps. So, for example, I don't know, I need to have the dependencies from Interstart and Interstart ET and late payment prediction. I can select these apps, and I can create a get selected as dependencies, and here I can do show and copy, and this will create the dependencies that I need to place into my Visual Studio Code project. Or I can directly download in VS Code, and download in VS Code, it opens my Visual Studio Code automatically, creating my app JSON with the dependencies of the app that I selected. So it creates a skeleton of the project for me automatically without manual intervention or something like that. So it's quite a nice addition in order to speed up the projects. Another thing that I want to mention related to VS Code, let me close this, is that the AI language also you start the first step if I go into new project, I create a new project. Now it asks for a template. And if you don't select a template, it will start from blank as usual. But now you can also start from a template. And now at the moment, there are only available these two templates, Copilot or Copilot with tests. And this permits you to automatically have an app with a set of objects created. So for example, if I select Copilot, you have a set of objects related to Copilot automatically created for you. A template of a skeleton of an app. And I expect to have more templates in the future, or I expect to add custom templates to that in order to have automatically the skeleton of apps created without starting from scratch every time. Last, close this. Last thing, I will go back to last slide because it's related to repo layout. Now you can work to obsolete a repo layout, not an entire report, but you can obsolete a repo layout, and you can also specify if a repo layout a particular layout supports multiple data sheets, Excel or not. This can be specifiable now also at the layout level. So I can unsupport a particular layout, and also is available here. Or I can specify the Excel layout multiple data sheet is a property that permits to have an Excel layout with a single data file or with multiple data file, if you have more than one tables. If you're in Business Central 23, when it was introduced, you can specify only at the report level. Now you can specify at the layout level. So this layout in Excel can have multiple data files. This other layout no. And also in report, you can have a validation online. So when you have a layout online, now you have a validate layout feature that is giving you information about the correction of this layout, if you have a problem on this layout or something like that. So some are small addition related to development, but I think that are sometimes quite useful in order to speed up the development or control things. Okay, I've closed this overview. There are quite a lot, as you see, so times is usually not so much in order to cover everything. I'm moving to the Q&A window because I'm seeing that there are some questions.
Yes, there are some questions. Thank you very much, Stefano, for all the insights. And yeah, let's have let's say 5 maximum to 10 minutes for those questions. And
SOAP is blocked in Business Central 25 or 26. SOAP is blocked in Business Central 26. But as said before, you can re-enable if you want. This will be blocked by default in the next release. Only for this applies at the moment only for Microsoft Pages. If you have custom pages that uses SOAP, they will continue to work until next deprecation. Does the attachment preview work for the PDFs only, or will it help us all with other file types? It works for PDFs, images, and not for every file type at the moment. PDF images, yes, but I don't remember other file types, not for videos, not for document attachment, also for assembly orders. Good question. I think no, not supported in assembly order, but we can uh, 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 I don't see any more questions.
Yeah, are there any questions? We still have a couple of minutes.
Okay, now yes, appears.
Mhm.
When will Copilot be available for other countries? Is the roll-up is in progress. So the roll-up is in progress, and it's starting the next month. So I cannot say in this date because Copilot is at the moment available in every country for the related to the Copilot chat. Other features like the sales order agent or something like that will be rolled out gradually. There's no plans on that to know. There's no an exact plan on how will be rolled out everything. But the Copilot chat and all the other features are globally available at the moment. Is the multi-user posting code example a new feature that was shown on the slide deck a few minutes ago? We are all of those examples new features only related to the warehouse objects in modes only. No, these are the new multi-posting features are related to at the moment to item ledger entries, resource ledger entries, and all the ledgers that you can see from feature management. So from this page here. So item ledger entries, value entries, job ledger entries, resource ledger entries. So when you post a job, when you post a warehouse, and so on, yes, this applies. So all the posting that pass to the standard posting on job ledger entry, on resource ledger entry, and so on. Yes, it's related to that. I think we have answer to every question, probably. I want to only show if an attachment is available. No, for assembly order, there's not this feature at the moment. If there are no other questions, I
Yes,
think
so
that we can close
yes,
this overview.
once again, I'll just remind that every one of you will receive the recording, not the slides, but the recording of the session. And I hope that this webinar was really useful for all of you. So once again, if you'll have any questions related to the services mentioned in the very beginning of the session or the webinar itself, don't hesitate to contact sales@simplenova.com or leave an inquiry on our website, simplenova.com. And thank you very much, Stefano, for joining us and sharing your knowledge regarding what's new on the latest version. Always pleasure.
Thanks to everyone attending this, and see you later in around or in the next events.
Yeah. Have a great Easter, upcoming Easter for all
You
of you,
too.
and
Have a great Easter, and have a great Easter, everyone.